Welcome to Pitstop with the Diers Ford Lincoln Auto Amigos. I'm Tony.
And I'm Fernando.
And we're joined today by our shop foreman, master technician, Randy Bruner. 37 years at Diers Ford.
37.
Wow.
Yep.
You must have seen a lot of changes over 37 years.
Yeah, they've changed quite a bit.
So tell us about what your role is as a shop foreman and then also as a master technician.
Well, as a master tech, you basically all that means is you've went through and got all of the certifications. So you've done all the schooling, you've done all the online tests to be able to service the vehicles properly as per Ford Motor Company's recommendations. And then as a shop foreman, kind of a new role for me, being as I have the most experience and have that, it's passing on the knowledge that I've learned in 37 years to the new guys down the road and bringing them up to speed to get them up to A-level techs.
So are you responsible for all the technicians in the shop?
A lot of the techs in the shop, I mean, in a sense, are responsible for themselves. But in a technical aspect, if they have any issues where, say, they can't figure out what's going on with the vehicle, something like that, I get involved. Every once in a while, we need to contact Ford Motor Company. If we have a glitch or something going on, that's my role. I get to do that for them. So
you get all the fun stuff.
I get all the fun stuff.
What's the big difference between a regular technician and a master technician?
So a regular technician, what we would call would be a greenie. That'd be somebody new, somebody fresh out of school, somebody that says probably has less than 5 years of experience at a dealership level. At 5 years, you can, if you've done your training, went through all the steps, you can start getting into, there's 3 different levels of master. And once you get all 3 levels of master and you get 5 years of experience, then you become a senior master. That is the highest level. So I've been senior master since 2001. Second year it came out.
So you've been a senior master for 25 years.
Yes.
Wow. So what's a typical day look like for you?
Well, show up early, get everything ready to go. Start accepting tickets and let the fun begin.
Now, who brings the tickets out? Do you assign those to different people or is that somebody else?
Right now, the service advisors are the ones that assign it. So they'll take the information down from the customer. They'll see what's wrong with their vehicle, what their complaints are, and then they'll determine which tech is the best to tackle that job for the customer so we can make sure and fix it right for them the first time.
Now, you've seen a lot of changes in and out of the dealership, right?
Yes.
What's one of the biggest changes you've seen back there in your shop?
Probably the electronics. From the day I started in 1989, carburetors were around. Everything is carbureted. Fuel injection was just starting to come out. And so the difference now, where everything is computer controlled, everything is run off of multiplex modules, talk to other modules. One little wire gets broken, it just gets confused. It won't do anything. So that's probably the biggest thing is just like keeping up with the electronics, all the electronical changes. I mean, we don't have hydraulic power steering anymore. We have, EPAS gears, so everything's controlled by an electric motor. Obviously, we have all electric vehicles that weren't even a dream back then. So that's probably the biggest thing.
What's the most rewarding part of your job?
I love a challenge. I love fixing the car, the vehicle that everybody seems to not be able to fix. That's my thing. I don't like to lose. So I pride myself in being able to fix that one. So that's my biggest joy.
Now, we wanted to ask you some questions regarding, what most of the stuff that you see on your day to day, right? So what is one of the mistakes that drivers make on the regular?
I think maybe ignoring the warning signs. I mean, these cars are so smart anymore. They let you know. Everybody says you've got the rainbow on the dash. When you've got warning lights on, you've got warning messages on, you hear a clunk that you didn't hear before, you're hearing a growl, stuff like that. You got to remember truck is just a machine. It can't really talk to you, but yet it's smart enough to know what's going on, and it'll tell you. So I think that's the biggest thing. They let the little signs go. I mean, it's no different than the little aches and pains we got. I'll admit it. I don't like going to doctors, but you have those signs. Eventually, you got to call and you got to say, "Hey, I got to get this thing fixed."
Yeah,
So,
some people's dashboard looks like a Christmas tree.
yeah, absolutely.
So I was going to say, and I think you kind of answered it, but we'll just see if there's a different answer. Which warning signals should never be ignored?
Well, all of them are important, of course, but
That's what I thought you'd say.
yeah, if you had to pick some of the ones that are like the most important, obviously the low oil pressure light, very, very important. Check engine light is another huge thing. People will let check engine lights go on forever. And I mean, you're touching $4 to $5 a gallon in gas and fuel. Check engine light coming on and it not running what it needs to be running, it's costing you fuel mileage. So what could be a $200, $300 fix can save you thousands of dollars in gas. And that's what people just don't realize.
And what's the one maintenance service that saves people the most money?
I'm going to probably say an oil change. Just back to the basics. I've said this for 37 years. Oil is cheap. Oil changes are probably the most important. Obviously, any other fluids, you have transmission fluid, you have coolant. Those are very important to keep up to snuff on maintenance. So, but yeah, back to the basic oil change, probably the number one.
I thought you'd say that too.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people, when they come to the shop and they get their car checked out and everything, I think like a lot of people believe that you're just making stuff up when you tell them, hey, you got this, and this is that's messed up, right? Or it could be a problem later on. What are the biggest myths that people believe about their maintenance?
People think these things are maintenance free. There's no such thing as maintenance free anymore. I mean, you see, you go to the store and it says maintenance free battery. Really it is, but it isn't. It takes a lot to maintain that battery, but the car is doing it by itself. One of the biggest myths, I think, is how the perception of dealers that dealers are out to take the customers. I don't see that at Diers Ford. I've never seen that at Diers Ford. We do what is needed to make sure that your vehicle is fixed 100% of the time with 120% of our abilities. We do a lot of video inspections anymore. So when we send you recommendations, we usually attach a video or a picture. If there's something wrong, that we can send you a picture and a video. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. It does make a difference.
That's funny that you mentioned videos because with technology and everything nowadays, there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube of, you can do it yourself, DIYers. Now, what's one thing that most people think that they can DIY themselves, but you see them every day coming back to the dealership for that?
Brakes. Brakes are one of the biggest things that people think they can just put it together. And it's like, I don't know, if you had to pick all of the important pieces of a car, a vehicle in general, you have 10, 15,000 parts on a car or truck. There's only 4 of them touch the road. Those are the 4 tires. The next thing next to the tires is the brakes, the most important. It's no fun to say go when you can't say whoa. So when people try to do their brakes, you see them messed up all the time. And I'm like, leave that to a professional. If you want to put window tint on, go for it. You can't really go bad. But, let the professionals do the tires and brakes. That's what we're here for. We're here to make sure that you're here tomorrow.
So what's your favorite vehicle to work on?
I love the trucks. I love 150s, Super Duties. They're a little bit easier to work on. I've been doing the big stuff for 37 years, so that's always my claim to fame is working on the big stuff. A lot of diesels.
You've been working on vehicles for a long time, Randy. And what is one of the hardest repairs you've had to tackle within those past years?
One of the funnest ones that I had not too long ago was a lightning strike. A vehicle, F-150, got struck by lightning. And the total pain of trying to fix all of these modules that got, basically electrocuted. You fix one and you move on to the next. But they're, like I said, as these new vehicles come out, they're so complex that one module, you kind of had to stair step it into repairs. That was a long ordeal with the insurance company through our body shop. But it was also one of the funnest because, it was just really another one,
The challenge.
Yeah. So it wasn't the first lightning strike you've seen?
Oh, no, I've seen multiples.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And some of them are obvious and some of them are not. You get this thing originally was towed in and it showed no signs of being struck by lightning. But as we started going through it, we started finding stuff. But we did have one towed in. It was a little transit van, and the antenna was melted. And so we knew it was struck by lightning, and so we started digging in. And I mean, that one got hit hard. That one melted white.
Is it easy to know that it was a lightning strike?
On that one, it was. On the first one, it wasn't. But after you figured it out, it was like, well, where were you at when this happened? Oh, yeah, there was a thunderstorm last night. That's probably it. But
diesel or gas engine?
I'm a fan of both. I love the diesels. They're fun, but gas is okay. I mean, obviously gas is very, very popular. I mean, a lot more popular than the diesels, of course, but the thing about gas burners, compared to say 1989, everything's turbocharged now. There's not an engine out there that doesn't have a turbo attached to it. I mean, we've got a little 3-cylinder 1.5 liter that puts out more horsepower than my first 67 Mercury Cougar, It's ridiculous. It's got 3 cylinders, but put a turbo on it. Let's go.
Yeah, everything has turbo nowadays. Yeah. Now, with everything that we've seen, all these maintenance repairs and stuff, DIY, YouTube videos, what is one tip that you would give the viewers out there that they should keep up with?
I say oil changes is number one. Do your oil changes on time. Don't skimp on it. The oil's cheap. The rest of the maintenance is, like I said, if you stay within the recommended parameters, what people think is, hey, I want to buy this car and I never want to touch it. I want to put gas in it and I want to drive it forever. That's not a thing anymore. These things are so complex. We talked about the turbochargers, 1 minute ago. Turbos are very hard on oil. They just break down the oil something fierce because of the high heat that the turbos create. And so all that does is break down the oil a lot faster. So if you say, I don't need to change oil this week, I'll do it next month or whatever, and you double the 5,000, you turn it into 10,000. Well, the next thing you know, you've got a $3,000 or $4,000 turbo bill that you got to, pay for because you just melted your turbos.
Man, now I'm thinking that I need to get an oil change.
Yeah.
So you're saying every 5,000 miles, you should have an oil change?
On conventional oil, we recommend no more than 5,000 miles. Now, we've got a semi-synthetic blend. Our 520 is semi-synthetic, so you can make it up to 5,000. But, our 530, that's conventional oil, and it's like I said, everything's turboed anymore. You can run we do offer full synthetic. Full synthetic, you can probably push 7,500, maybe 10,000. But it all depends on your driving conditions. I'm going to put the asterisks up under ideal conditions, but how many of us drive under ideal conditions 24/7, so there's a lot of stop and go, anything that's, I'm running down the highway all the time and got the air conditioner on and I'm under boost if I got the turbo cranked up. So all that comes into play, but
I can see right after this, Fernando's going to be out there pulling his truck into service. I need an oil change.
Yeah, I got to go talk to them right after this.
Yeah. Hook him up with some full synthetic.
So any final advice for folks?
All I can say is, we have a great crew here at Diers Ford. We've got technicians out there that are very competent and a lot of good experience out there. And if you ever have any issues with any of your vehicles, bring them in. That's what we're here for. We're here to make your life easier.
Now, I think that Diers has done a great job at creating that trust between us and the customers. Now, why do you think that the customer should trust Diers?
It's hard. Trust is a hard thing. It really is. But we're a small town dealer. We've been in this spot for a long, long, long time. The Diers family has been around Fremont for a long time, and so I mean, it's just you gotta come in and talk to us. If you have an issue, come talk to us. We'll talk to you. We have full transparency. We hide nothing. Our doors are always open. We're always open to chatting with people and giving some information when we can and taking care of them. Obviously after that.
Well, we want to thank Randy for joining us today because I can tell you he's making a lot less doing this than he would be if he's out in the shop. And I know he's probably thinking about that right now, too.
Busy.
Yeah. And you can catch this pit stop every week on Tuesdays. So don't forget to join us again next week. And until then, I'm Tony. This is Fernando. Thanks for joining us on Pit Stop with the Diers Ford Lincoln Auto Amigos.
Thanks for joining, guys. And don't forget to stop by and meet Randy. Great guy. We'll see you next time.
Take care.